Already messing up. Yeah, what the fuck? It's a beautiful day to blaze some good. A beautiful day to blaze some good. Would you be kind? Please light mine. Hello. Alright, so welcome. Wake and bake, or it's getting baked. True shit. I'm fucking fried. as as of right now, I am fried in a motherfucker. But whatever. 4 o'clock in the morning, East Coast, Tampa, Florida. Right on. Friday, well, Saturday now, but so being this is Friday podcast, it's basically I know it's Saturday, but anyway, today's music to smoke to discussion. So that last song, which it I don't know why I named it Byzantine, like the Byzantine Empire. I don't know why. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I'll probably give it a better name, but that's definitely a song I just like to groove to, smoke to. I got my own shit my own personal shit that I like to, what I'm saying, chill out and smoke to and shit. I say like got folders and shit that, I got a lot of it's never gonna be published or, you know, stuff that I'm working on to publish at some point. You know, like it costs money to publish music, which it costs money for everything. So, duh. I got a whole EP ready to come out. I'm just waiting to pay for, shit to finish publishing it. I got fucking the music's done, videos are done. So, moolah. But so anyway, I got another song I'm gonna play that's pretty much like a just sit back and puff and chill. But I want to go over this list again. So I have 2 new entries. I'm gonna discuss that in a second. I don't know why I didn't think of these before, but it's definitely it definitely. I didn't even put the songs. I put the bands because it's like put. I go back to CDs, tapes and CDs, but you just put the music on, put the album on, first song to last. You know what I'm saying? Roll 2, at least to start, and you just that's how it goes. So let me bring up my list again. So actually, I'm gonna go over the new entry. So I'm gonna just read the list. So of course, number 1, we got Smoke 2 Joints. I got through 1 during the start, so you probably didn't even see that one. Get ready, get it light up. So then of course we got, and that's Smoke 2 Joints from Sublime. Then we got Mary Jane, not the rock song. It's Mary Jane from the Alcoholics. That is besides I Got 5 on it. To me, that's one of the, to use a college word, quintessential smoke song. Then my next one is a little bit of a veer off of, at least from the previous couple of songs. A song called Love You to Death, Typo Negative. Favorite band ever. Out of all the music I ever listened to, Typo. Next one, Soundboy Burial. And that's from Smith & Wesson. Now, I mean, they're another group that you put on from, and again, go back to CDs and tapes and shit. So you put it on from song 1 to last song. Oh, they got an album they did with Pete Rock. Anyway, they got Reminisce from Little River Band. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely sort of sort of varying off from the other types of music, but you pop on some of that. Just pop that song on. It's not only nostalgic because it's back from the time when I was young. You know, at the time I didn't really appreciate it, but now, man, you just sit back and just, it's all good. Now, the next one, it's two. It's a rap song. It's another rapper. Same thing. Back to the college word, quintessential. Now these two rappers I really didn't listen to a whole lot, but this one particular song, oh, is on my level with Wiz Khalifa and Too Short. Salute. It'll beat the flows. Now the next one is another one. I mean, it's obvious. Now, the group itself, you can go album to album, song straight through. Just that's basically it. And so, but the song I picked is one of their first songs. It's not really, it's like what you would think of a smoke song, but it's because of the lore of the song, because of how, I mean, there was just something to the song. Because, okay, so I'm talking about How Killer Man from Cypress Hill. So, you know, Cypress was, you know, being from New York, you know, all I knew at least was that style, and I thought everything was New York, you know. And then we heard this song, and then it was like that. I remember the tape. I go back to tapes and CDs. I remember the tape, man, and that cover, and just it was just, you know, because music was really big to me. So it was just larger than life type of sound, and it was just that song, and you know, real shit, a story to that, and it's just so wild. When I was younger, I had, and I'm talking about 18 and shit. You know, what me and my homeboys would do is we'd pack in the car. You know, and now I'm living in Ocala, so we would go in the back roads of Ocala, and that's just like all country at the time. And I think they built it up a lot, but we would go always do these back roads and just pack in the car, roll the windows up, and just fire up. You know what I'm saying? And then with me, I had a system in the car, so you can just imagine just the music just booming. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, as soon as you roll the windows down, smoke everywhere just come out like a cloud. You know what I'm saying? It kind of thinks back to that. I think it was Who's the Man with Leaders in the New School got out of the Jeep, and it was all clouds just anyway. So years later, Be Real from Cypress Hill, he got his one of his first internet shows is hotboxing. So he's doing interviews in a car, hotboxing the car. Like, yo, son. Like, I never thought of that as an idea for you know, like web shit, but it's like, I mean, that confirms right there the culture. All right, so the next one, not a big fan of the song, but you gotta include that, and it's because I got high. I mean, yo, because I got high. Yeah. All right, so the next one, I mean, this is another one. Okay, with this one I go back to, again, tapes and CDs, but these guys go back to records. Shit, maybe even 8 tracks. When I think about it, so "Shine on You, Crazy Diamond." Let's see, how far does that go back? Of course, I mean Pink Floyd. Sorry, I didn't mention that. I just want to see what year that came out. 1975. Shit, that was 2 years before I was born. I'm 48, so this is a 50-year-old song. But this is like, you know, this is one of those songs you just want to fire up to. You know what I'm saying? It's just a group. This is like the whole deal is you want to sit back and just, you know, just it's not even a situation where, you know, it's got to be a situation where you sit back and you just relaxing, and you just sort of roll up and you're not doing anything, you know what I mean? You're just in your head. And whatever comes to you from the music and the herbs, I just, of course, with Pink Floyd, there's also the connotations of, you know, using acid and those other mind altering drugs. I mean, you could do that, you know. I've never done the tripping. I've done some other things, mainly that was a ride, on usually people want to like listen to a lot of techno and EDM. For me, it was metal and rock and hip hop and shit. Also, techno EDM too, but anyway. So yeah, I mean, Pink Floyd, you can go from record to record to record to album to album to CD, tapes, whatever. Now it's obviously it streams, but and it sucks because if you're doing it on YouTube and you don't have to pay for YouTube, of course it's gonna have breaks within the music because of the fucking commercials, but it's all good. But Shining You Crazy Diamonds is just one of those songs. I just okay, but Have a Cigar, that's my favorite one from them though. But anyway. So now the next group, I mean, it's another one of those groups that's sort of a no-brainer. It's called the song I'm picking is called "The End" by The Doors. Now, this is a 12-minute song. I was listening to, like, they had a video from it. It's another one of those songs, probably like 50, maybe even shit. I think it was the 60s, as a matter of fact. Yeah, the 60s. It wasn't even the 70s. Shit, you're looking at 50, 60 years. Shit. But that song just has, I don't know, man. It's just something to it. It's just, I mean, the Doors altogether, just same thing with them, back to back to back to back to back album, and you could just puff up. All right, so the next one, it's probably not. I don't know why I picked the song I'm about to mention because there are so many other songs. It was just on a list that I had looked at, but so I'm talking about Three Little Birds. It's by Bob Marley. I'm not sure why I picked that one because there's 10,000 other ones. It's the same thing with them, back to back to back to back to back to back. All right. Now the next one is a song I still should. I think I did. I checked this one out briefly. It's another artist that I'm not, or rapper that I'm not really familiar with, except for he has that song on that one movie where kids had thrown this big ass party and fucked up the house. It was like these three nerds, and they threw like the most epic party. And the song is so the rapper's name is Kid Cudi. The name of the song, Marijuana. So I mean, duh. Straight up, duh. All right, so the next one, it kind of includes two West Coast. Now, this is another situation like with Cypress Hill. This was a sound that, okay, being from East Coast, listening to a lot of East Coast. And at this time this came out, I was down south. And it was, I don't know, for some reason we started, at that time you had different sections. So you had your East Coast, New York, you had your down south, and East Coast, like New York, I didn't just, that included, obviously New York, Philly, Virginia, because you had groups like Clips and Pharrell from the area. So, but then you also had the West Coast. And, I mean, history tells you what a powerhouse, what a titan the West Coast was. And as far as smoking, smoke music, especially at the time, nothing beat, at least coming out of the West Coast. Obviously, again, other groups like Cypress and Alcoholics were groups that I listened to from the West Coast. But, the Chronic, that whole album, The Chronic, Snoop and Dre. You know what I'm saying? You even got to put Snoop on there too, with the dog father and all that stuff. But why I specifically picked The Chronic is because Chronic. And this one too, back to back songs from straight to front. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to turn it, you don't have to skip or none of that shit. And this was another one that had that same larger than life lore that I got from Cypress Hill. It was some shit that I never heard before. And it's monstrous. Monumental. Okay, so this next one, I mean, it's another one. These guys go back to all the way, I mean, 8-track, basically. And what I'm talking about now is the Beatles. This is another one that's the same thing with like 1,000 songs, tons of albums. So, but the one I'm looking at, the song I put on there is Strawberry Fields Forever. But, I mean, we can... Next one. This one's another anthem. This one is, when I was younger, this one is another one of these larger than life songs. The two is a rapper song, so the two rappers come from different factions, but so like as I was saying as I started this podcast, I'm up there right now, fried. So the question could be asked, how high? You know what I'm saying? So you got How High from Method Man and Redman on the list, no doubt. That's one of my anthems. So the next one. Okay, so this is another one. Go back to the 8-track days, even, and same thing, back to back songs, back to back records, albums, CDs. In this case, streams because it's New Century 2025. But the song, there's a strain named after it, talking about Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix. But again, you can go any album. So the next one, now this next one is a straight up description. I mean, it's the anthem of anthems. This was like, back in the lean days, when funds was, not always available. You know what I'm saying? One person, it goes like this. One person would say, yo, I got a connection, but I'm a little broke right now. You know what I'm saying? And you got your homeboy. He's like, yo, I got like 5 on it. You know what I'm saying? And I've said that shit. I'm talking about got 5 on it. You know what I'm saying? From Loonies. This is not like, okay, so the song is it's a song, but it's not like, this is a phrase that we spoke. This is like straight up the culture, because it's just like with Cypress Hill, you know what I'm saying, with hotbox and cars and shit. Yo, you would, like I said, you maybe it's a day you broke or whatever, or you got $5, but you don't got the ride. You know what I'm saying? But your homie got a ride, but he ain't got no ends, and he got the connect. You know what I'm saying? And this is when you could buy a Nick, roll a blunt, 4 or 5 heads on it, stressing because it's like no more money, and you just want to be zooted, and then you can't really be zooted because there's 5 heads on one blunt. So all you could do is really just take the little bit of edge off, and you're not, fiending. So definitely got 5 on it. So the next group, I like to just sort of sit back and they got a chill vibe, but again, they're pretty much more of a beer band. If you really think about it. So I'm talking about Red Fang. I want to listen to them a little more. I need to listen to a little more, but what I like is their stripped down approach. I don't always like that, but if it's done right. Next song, founding, at least as far as my estimation, and I mean, I can't find anybody else that would refute this, but it's one of the founding, not death, but metal bands from Black Sabbath, Sweet Leaf. Another group that I'm getting starting to get into more now. And these are one of these groups that they use like these really weird sort of high gain distortion, or I don't say if it's high gain, but it's like a crunchy. It's just really weird. It's a band called YOB. Just you just sit back and you off in another world. It's like heavy rhythms, but it's textured in a way, and the vocals just gritty. Like these two bands that I'm next to, so the band next to it is sort of the same thing. YOB is in the same vein as the next band that's on the list, which is Crowbar. So they're both in that same vein, but they're not exactly the same sounding, or similar sounds in a way, but how they structure the songs is way different. Whereas, say YOB has, it's like straight rhythms and it's textured at the same time. You have Crowbar, where I don't really know where you can find texture. Definitely no melody or anything like that, but it's still sort of straightforward, powerful, but it puts you in that mode. I mean, there's something about it. And that also leads into the next group, which is a band that Weinstein is part of, which, Down. And it's going to be a two-parter because it's Down and Pantera, and Down, they got a couple of songs that are herbal-based, but the one that, again, another anthem for me, is Bury Me in Smoke. And then Pantera, I mean, first off, it's Pantera. Enough said right there. But then, I'm a guitar player, so obviously, Dimebag. I mean, duh. Dimebag. So the next three are newer rappers. There's new rap groups or rappers. One's a little bit newer. One's I say I think they're probably more than 10 years old, but I still put them in a new category, but definitely. So the first one being Underachievers. Anybody ever listen to them? Well, roll up and just listen. Go from CD or album to album. So the next one is two, like they knew. I'm not sure how new both are, but I know one just won the Grammys and it's from Tampa. She won the Grammy for best rapper, and it's just rough. And she got bars. It's not this sort of infantile rap. It's just so. I mean, both of them is actually Coast Contra, and then Doechii, son. Oh, that's some shit. You just pop on your radio, and you know what I'm saying. You pop on the Bluetooth, and this is my world. So it's tooth with an F. Fuck anybody's got anything to say about it. So you pop it on the Bluetooth and just saying only in the mind. You don't actually do that. Don't do that for real. But I mean, the beats, they got some thump. You know what I'm saying? And then just bars, just straight bars after bars after bars after bars, and just complex concepts on top that go along into the bars. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Doechii. She won a Grammy for best rap artist. And I think it says she goes to like Jefferson High School. So, you know, if anybody down in Tampa, you know, out here in Tampa, you know, Jefferson, that shit was the pastor shit every day. Shit. So, yo, that's straight up. So now for the new groups, these one's a comedy group, which obviously it's obvious. So that's Cheech and Chong. I'm gonna add that to the movie marathons, the weekend movie marathons. I started the dystopian movie marathon. That's for another pod, but I think I want to do a Cheech and Chong movie marathon. You know, post that on my Discord. I'll wait to have a little bit more of an audience. So the next two, they're obvious if you listen to the music. If you're into that music, from the outside, the names of these groups don't make you think, you know what I'm saying, smokers. But so we got 311, duh, and then Incubus. Same thing. Same thing. I mean, if you listen to the music and it's a similar situation, you just pop on the album and just go from one. And there's no need to fast forward, you know what I'm saying, or skip. And it's just about sit back, max, relax, and just, or you on the go, you know what I'm saying, riding your bike, or, you know, taking a run or walking on the road and you puffing. Now I remember, shit, this was like, I was 21, and I had moved back to New York for like a couple months. You know, I had moved from New York, moved. I'm saying that like I had a choice. I was 14 when we moved from New York, but we moved from New York. I was 14, and went to Ocala, Florida. So when I was 21, I was sort of going between places. I was trying to see if I wanted to live in Tampa. Then I was also checking out Orlando, and then I went back to New York for a few months. And I remember this one day this is the first time I went to go see Typo Negative in concert, and one of the groups that I had listened to, or one of the CDs at the time that I listened to heavy, and that was 311. You know, and I distinctly remember because it was like a mix, because at the point when I left my destination, you know, I was going from Brooklyn to Manhattan, so obviously gotta go on the train. So I make it to Manhattan, and I'm like I believe it's Times Square. I can't even remember where the club was. I'm 48. This is when I was 21, and it was the crazy shit. I didn't have any weed, but I did have a pack of cigarettes and a lighter. And again, like I said, I'm 311 was playing on my. I had a Discman, and the cat came up to me. You know what I'm saying? And you know, obviously, I pull off my Discman. He's like, "Yo," he saw me smoking a cigarette, but he didn't see me light it. But he saw me smoking a cigarette. He's like, "Yo, you got a light? I need a light." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yo, I got this blunt I want to smoke. You know what I'm saying? You give me a light, I'll smoke with you." Yes. So he lit up and this is before they had that crackdown where they were doing like the random checks, so they started tightening up and you really couldn't get away with shit. But there was a point in time where you were able to smoke a little bit freely. Like now it's a free fall in New York. It's legal. So we sat there right in the middle of everything. You know what I'm saying? Son lit the blunt, passed it back and forth. We finished that shit. He was like, you know what I'm saying? We gave daps. He mobbed out the other way. I went to the concert. I was zooted in a motherfucker. This is my favorite band, and I was so fucking elated. And then I was even zooted on the way home on the train. Anyway, crazy story. I mean, it's not crazy, but You know what I'm saying? And 311 was one of those groups that I was listening to literally. I forgot which one it was, but yeah. Shit. So at least now that's the list as it is for right now. You know, I did start the dystopian movie marathon a couple weeks ago. I advertised it. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna keep it going. I did get through a couple of songs on this list while I was setting it up. So that's gonna be basically the format as I'm setting up the movie marathon. I'll be playing songs from the weed list, smoking, getting through the list of the songs and groups and shit like that, and then going through the movies. Again, so it wasn't like a full marathon because it was only 2 movies, so I don't know if you can call it a marathon, but that's the idea for the coming up. You know, and I watched They Live, which I'd seen before, and I knew it was kind of the premise behind it's good, but it's still it's kind of hard. It barely holds up, but and the other one was Escape from New York. Nah. That was booty. It was buns. Ass. It was buns, son. I don't know. I am fucking fried. No, that was the point, obviously. Plus, I had a little bit of I do little AI type of videos. Check it out on my YouTube. Anybody watching, they got like little 1-minute clips and shit, little AI joints. You know what I'm saying? I got some more AI video clip shits that coming out. You know, I wish I knew an actual animator that I could work with. Well, I guess I'll get to that at some point. I got some ideas and shit, but so, you know, it's the weekend. You know, I don't really stream this shit on the weekend. I'm gonna do it working on tunes this weekend. I've really been lacking on working on, you know what I'm saying, music. All the music I got right now is old shit, and I needed to fix it. And you know, I'm doing some new shit, but the new shit is, some of it's ready to go, some of it isn't, some of it needs to be refined, and you know how it goes. And then I got some guitar shit, but I got to fix my guitar setup and my guitars itself. So, again, I got to do. Anyway, so I got one more, like what I call like a smoke song. It's a little bit of a thump. I got a few of them, so I'm gonna end the podcast on that. So, day is long, sun is hot. You might as well smoke if you got some pot. All right, here we go. Anybody watching, just roll up. Get ready to do a little bit do like the fuck am I doing? I want to say a bounce, but that sounds kind of pausable. So, just enjoy.
Afghanistan, where today the Taliban claimed responsibility. And now to Afghanistan, where today the Taliban claimed responsibility for that brazen attack we told you about last night, a failed attempt to storm the largest NATO base in southern Afghanistan. Several coalition troops were wounded.